Hello, I'm Ted Baehr, publisher of Movieguide.org, and many years ago, during the late 70s and early 80s, I was head of the mainline religious organization which owned the rights to the Chronicles of Narnia. In the 1950s, C.S. Lewis was invited over to do the Episcopal series of the Protestant Hour. And he came, he was so grateful, and he didn't know the value of his work, the Chronicles of Narnia. So he said, you can have the rights to do a film. And when I was studying at a seminary in New York, they said, we own these rights, you've been in the entertainment industry, your father was a star, your mother was a star, you financed films, could you help us? So they appointed me as the president of the Episcopal Radio TV, and I was there for the last few years of doing The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So they got Bill Melendez, who was famous for doing Charles Schulz's Peanuts cartoons, and he did the version that you can see right now. It's available on YouTube. Anyway, there were certain things that you always have to do. I was a great respecter of C.S. Lewis. I was writing a book. The book is Narnia Beckons here, which has become a very beautiful book with a lot of the artwork. When I was doing The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, we produced a calendar that was very popular at the time, and I don't think is available anymore. And we produced some games with the #1 game producer of all time. Anyway, those items that we did for The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe were not the main thing. The main thing was keeping people who were producing it, who were great producers, great animators, and some of them became good friends, from going off the story. Because the story, as C.S. Lewis said, very clearly, was an allegory about the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. And Aslan represented the Christ figure, and the people at Children's Television Workshop did not understand the gospel story. So instead of having him resurrected, they said, what is this, resurrected? Maybe we should pour some anointing oil on him, and that would revive him. Or they could have the two girls in the Pevensey family fight, which C.S. Lewis would not do. So there were several things that would have just, changed the story, and the story couldn't be changed if it was going to reflect the gospel. So we have the same situation today. I talked with Greta Gerwig about a year and a half ago. She said she loved this animated version that's here that we did. It helped her to understand the gospel. But then there's rumors, I guess they've been confirmed, that they're going to have Meryl Streep as the voice of Aslan. But Aslan represents Jesus, and Jesus was fully God and fully man, not fully woman, but he was fully man. So to change him with Meryl Streep's voice, and I appreciate Meryl Streep's acting, it's terrific, would be just a travesty. I'm doing this little piece because I want to express my concern that Netflix sticks to the story, and Greta sticks to the story, because the story is the gospel story, and we shouldn't change the gospel story, because the gospel story is what saves us. And many people, when we did The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and it aired in 1979, 1980, wrote me and said for years they couldn't understand the gospel. One man said, and thousands of letters, he said his wife had been talking to him about accepting Christ. He couldn't understand it, but when he saw The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, he understood it. Many people came to Christ through The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. That's what the gospel story does. It transforms. And there have been many movies with gospel stories since 1897, some of them allegories like The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and King of Kings, which just came out in 2025, and some of them direct stories of the gospel. And none of them, of course, can capture the exact version of the gospel that occurred, but they do come close to it, and as long as they have the essence. So we would urge all of you to contact Netflix to tell them, please stick to the story that C.S. Lewis wrote. He was an apologist for the true gospel, and it'll help people to understand the gospel, and it also won't alienate over 100 million people that would be very upset to see the gospel changed and to see the story of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe changed by Netflix.
If you enjoy videos that follow your values like ours and you want to help us continue, go to movieguide.org/donate, because we're actually a nonprofit. You may not know that, but we're working in Hollywood every day to help families have more choices that follows their values. And also subscribe right now.